Good evening. This is Dr. Bill White, and I'm going to show you a little short video here this afternoon on making bonded blocks. And this was out of plain lab acrylic. It's what we used to start with, and of course we shifted over to light cured acrylic. Later on it's much easier and much better to use the light cured acrylic to build these bonded blocks out of, and we use them an awful lot, and I'm going to show you how we actually do them. Now this was, you can just kind of shift over to light cured, it's much simpler, but here is a deep bite case, and probably we are making bonded blocks here. We're going to build this up on the posterior part of the mouth back in here, and we'll put them on both sides in this case. And these teeth, probably if you close this together, they'd come down here somewhere. excuse me. And then we're going to put intruding arches, and I think we show some of that in here, and we'll pick these teeth up and push these teeth down and level this whole thing out. And we won't open the bite skeleton at all doing that, whereas if you just start in on something like this, you can open it up skeletally, and if it's already too high, it makes it look even worse. So this is what we really use these bonded blocks, the main reason for doing that. Now here we have some on the right side of the mouth. Now when you're making these, you bond them to the lower teeth, and then you put some Vaseline or some kind of lubricant up above so that the teeth don't bond to so the acrylic doesn't bond to them. Now, however, down on the bottom, we'll come and etch the occlusal surface of these teeth and wash and dry, and then we put some back then when we had no real bonding stuff, we would get a little acrylic liquid and touch a brush into the powder, and we would put that liquid and powder on the occlusal surface of all these teeth in here. And then we'd take this acrylic that we had, I'll show you how we mix that up here in just a minute, and bond it to the teeth, and then trim it down so it's only on the occlusion. You don't need to hook it up and bond down on the side of the tooth at all. You just bond it right on top of it. And I've never lost them, but we'll show you how we take them off. I don't have any pictures of it. I'm going to draw it for you. I'm going to show you how we take this bonding material off. Now this acrylic is not real strong, and you can pop it off, but I did some one time out of Concise, which is a super hard material, and it took me almost 2 hours to grind the Concise away from the tooth and from the teeth. And I'm sure the guy that we did this on probably has a coating on his teeth today after years and years where that Concise was stuck on there. But I just had to carve the teeth out of the Concise, so don't use it. This acrylic is kind of soft, and you can break it away from the teeth pretty easy. Okay, now that we put it on both sides of the teeth, of course, and back when we started this and we were using regular lab acrylic, we tried to get fast setting acrylic, even though it was maybe a little bit more expensive or something. I don't remember. We had etching material. We were using some etching here. This is acrylic and the liquid, and this was, forget what we had. We stopped using that years ago and went to the light acrylic, which light cured acrylic, of course, and you can get it almost clear. Now we would put some of this acrylic in a little rubber petri dish, and then we put some, I think this was this the liquid, and we would put a brush and touch this brush in the liquid, and then touch it in some of this acrylic, and then go along and put it on the etched occlusal surface of the teeth. And just before we had this mixed up, the regular acrylic, we'll mix it up in here and put the liquid on. We didn't mix it, we just put liquid on it. And this is the etching agent we had at the time, and we put a little bit on the cotton, and we go in and rub that on the teeth and clean them off good, and then we take it and we washed it, of course, and then blew it off. Now we went over and put the liquid on the acrylic that we're going to use. This is, it'll soak this all up, and we'll show this another time. We got it completely covered in liquid, but not any excess, and this acrylic would set for a few minutes, but it was fairly fast curing. And then we blew the teeth off, and then we painted some with a brush and the liquid on these teeth, the surface of these teeth, and had it ready to go. And now we'll roll this acrylic out of this. Now here we're dipping, the brush is wet, and we dip it in there and take this little acrylic, and this is the way we bonded before we had bonding material. And we would take that and paint that on the surface of those teeth. And while it was still moist and everything, we'd put that on the surface of the teeth. And we come back to this acrylic that we had moist in the little petri dish, and we would go around it and separate it like that, and then just roll it up, but it's still soft. It hadn't set up yet. And we would take it and shape it with our fingers. And this was back before we used gloves. And we would take this and put this onto the soft acrylic that's on the teeth right in here. Now here we put some wax to keep this from getting down in between the teeth or anything. But we're going to bond just to the occlusal surface of the teeth. Then we put some liquid in here and go in here and paint these teeth so that this would bond to the lower teeth. And to keep it from bonding at all to the upper teeth, we put some Vaseline on those teeth. We want to make darn sure it didn't bond to the upper teeth when we close together. And we would put a little sucker stick or anything on the occlusal surface of the anterior teeth so that when they bit down it would stop at the point you wanted it. So if you had a crossbite or something and you wanted to open it up where it would just, the top would come down to there and the bottom would come up to here, and it would stop. And so that's how thick you would make this thing. And you put a little wooden, either tongue blade or I've even used toothpicks, made it wooden toothpicks, so it would you close the mouth to this the amount that you wanted, and then the teeth would stop there, you see, and then let it cure. And it cured right in the mouth, and then we would open it. Now your light cured stuff, it's much simpler. You have something across, we'd put something and just bite on that, and it would stop the teeth at that height, you see, and let them close too. And it's have the lubricant on the top teeth, and then you have it bonding on the bottom teeth. Now you put this acrylic, and we do this with the light cured acrylic too. We just trim it up. You can take once it's kind of stuck on there pretty good, you can still reach in there and take a number 12 barred Parker, you see, and we just cut it. We'll come in and cut this off. And all you need is just this occlusal surface of that acrylic there to do this. Now, here we come in on the lingual side, and we just take that number 12 barred Parker and just kind of saw this, and you trim it off good with that. Now you've got a piece of this acrylic. We're going to throw this away, of course, and then we've got this cut off right at the edge of the teeth. And we'll look at the next slide here, maybe. No, that doesn't cover it. But here we've got these intruding arches, you see. They're way up here, and they're hooked down, pulling that up. So this was definitely made to keep these teeth from moving at all and not letting them erupt together. And the person chews on this, and you can open the dental bite. I mean, you can take a deep bite case and you can open it up, and it takes a lot of force to intrude the upper and lower into your teeth, and it all comes from your 6-year molars back here, see. And that force, of course, pushes these teeth down with the same force that you're pulling these up, right over here. And if you don't have anything, like if you want to open the bite, you can put a block in the front of the mouth, and these teeth won't have any occlusion at all, and it'll push them down quite a bit. And you can open the skeletal bite while you intrude the upper and lower teeth. In other words, you're opening the dental bite, and you're actually opening the skeletal bite at the same time. Now, in high-angle cases, you do not want to do that. You want to close the skeletal bite if you possibly can, and that's why we put these blocks down here. And if you think you don't press on them, you put some of these blocks on your teeth and see what it'll do. I mean, you'll bite on that thing just subconsciously, just trying to get rid of it, and you will intrude these teeth in that when you've got that acrylic on there. If you leave it on there long enough, it'll intrude them to the whole width of that. And now that helps lower the vertical anterior 1/3 of the face. It makes people look a lot better if you can get that down. And if you don't think you press on them, just put some of this, put some on your own teeth and see what it does. It will. You put it on one side, and the other side will come together while you're doing it too. And it'll level back up when you get through with it. It'll level back up. So anyway, this is about the end of this. We didn't have a lot of pictures in here, but if you want to get rid of it, you've got a tooth that's sitting here, something like this, and this block is up above like this. Now you come in and you can trim and smooth the edges of this up, and you can, but don't mess with the dots, you know, where the cusps touch down in here. Now if you want to take it off, you can take this same burr right here and just cut a groove down in this, and you can see the tooth before you get to it. And you just cut a burr, cut a groove right through the top of it. Now you can take any kind of a plier and get on there, something like that, you know, and just mash this together. And one side of this will pop loose, the other will be weakened, and then you can reach over here and a lot of times just grab it and move it with the plier and it'll pop loose. The acrylic is much, much weaker, and thank goodness, than the concise was. But you can pop them off like that. And we just grind that groove with this same burr right here. We just go down and cut right down through the middle of the thing and make a trough in there, and then reach in there and pop it. Press it with a plier, and one side will go, and the other side will kind of weaken, and then you can catch it and put a little force on it, and most of the time it'll come right off. And then you can cut it up in pieces if it doesn't, and then just take a piece at a time and pop it off. So that's how we make these bonded blocks, and maybe you picked up a little something from it. They're very useful to use in lots of different ways. We've shown you how we jump cross bites and just use it on one side, and the other side will go together. And it's in a lot of videos you'll see that. So thank you for watching, and I'll just hang this thing up for tonight. Let me go over and cut this thing off.